Mbeumo. At one point we thought, yes, he's already signed for Manchester United. It seemed like it was practically done. Is there confidence? What's the chances of Spurs hijacking this deal also?
Look, for sure there is appreciation from Thomas Frank, and so it's quite obvious to discuss a target like Mbeumo for Tottenham, because he's one of the names they discussed internally as soon as he signed his contract as new Tottenham manager. So it's obvious in football to see these kind of situations, but my understanding is that Man United remain at the moment in control of the situation, in conversation with Brentford, club to club, talking almost on daily basis, trying to find a solution. We know with these clubs like Brentford, Brighton, it's always difficult to negotiate for their top players. So it's not easy to reach an agreement, but Man United are on that. Are talking to the club, always in contact with player agents and with an agreement with Bryan Mbeumo, because the player wants to go to United. And so at the moment, United remain front runners on this story. Let's see if they can be able to reach an agreement on the fee with Brentford.
Mentions there a potential €100 million price tag, David. Manchester United have been linked with him. How would they be able to afford that?
Well, when you speak to the English clubs, they think that perhaps they could prize Ekitike for a bit lower. Seb and the German perspective, understandably, could be different, and it's Eintracht Frankfurt's gift to ask for whatever they like. Maybe if a club got to 80 and some add-ons or whatever, I don't know how they would structure it, but there is some optimism that it's not quite as high ultimately as Eintracht sort of letting it be known, but there is still significant financial commitment when it comes to the player as well, on salary and commissions around it too, and many people asking the same question as you: how would Manchester United finance it? I don't know that they're going for him fully, so I think that's a bit hypothetical. It seems there's been some inquiries, and that's kind of their job, to be asking after players and understanding the conditions of a deal and maybe being interested in the player. But that doesn't mean they're going to do it. Manchester United will be surveying multiple options. We've seen and heard so much about Gyökeres, about Ekitike now, about Delap previously. Look, they managed to get the Cunha deal done. They clearly had some more money than that because they were ready to do the Delap deal. In the absence of Delap, they're ready to do or exploring doing the Bryan Mbeumo deal, and he wants to join them, and there's a very good chance that will happen, but it's not there yet. And then after
his goal scoring numbers have been frightening over the last couple of years. Could he end up at Old Trafford?
54 goals in 52 games. It's quite staggering numbers, isn't it? It really is. But look, when Reuben Amorim arrived at Manchester United, we're talking about Gyökeres. There's contact via his intermediaries, but I don't know. This is an interesting one here. There's talk about this €100 million release clause. Gyökeres has then gone to social media basically saying don't believe all you read. But the two clubs you keep hearing, Manchester United, Arsenal, but then Arsenal looking at Benjamin Sesko as well. But again, we have to stress that we expect a very, very, very busy few weeks here transfer-wise, but clubs aren't under any pressure as it stands. Although what I would say is that clubs are always very keen to get these players in before they go on their long-haul pre-season tours. So I do expect I do expect this kind of movement maybe in the next week or so.
Manchester United are interesting at the moment because they're basically revitalising the front three. We know that Reuben Amorim wants to play with two 10s. He wants to play with a number 9. They've got Matheus Cunha in, and Mbeumo looks like one. Could one of these two be the number 9? And that would be a completely new look strike force for Manchester United. But it's just about piecing the puzzle together and getting the players in for the fees that the clubs are comfortable with. Viktor Gyökeres is a player that I watch so much, and you probably remember talking about him on Soccer Specials and Soccer Saturdays because he used to score for fun at Coventry. I think he's outstanding. So much interest in him. You feel like this is the summer he'll get the big move back to the Premier League. If it doesn't happen now, it might not happen, and I think he knows that as well.
And also, just finally, this is a Manchester United who aren't in Europe next season. But will they have any issues with a player saying, no, I need to be in Europe, I need to be in Europe? This is Manchester United we're talking about. That's what intrigues me as well.
I don't think that's a problem.
I don't either.
You look at Cunha, Mbeumo, Hugo Ekitike, Viktor Gyökeres, the players that they're being linked with clearly don't feel that one season out of Europe is a problem because they'll back themselves to say, I tell you what, if I go to Manchester United with all those players, we'll definitely be in Europe.
Get the old Sky remote, we'll go back to Mbeumo, we rewind it a little bit because they could be having that conversation. Thomas Frank, you are in the Champions League with me. Anyway, that's for 7.
Ooh.